Okay, so this time we have a worksheet that's asking us to find the volume of all these cylinders. And so finding the volume, which is how much stuff can fit inside an object, or another way to think of it is how much space in our universe an object occupies. For any regular prism, a prism is any object that has the same regular shape on both ends, like these both have circles on the ends, and then it's connected by a body, I guess you can call that right there. And so these are essentially circular prisms, but they have their own special names, cylinders. But for any prism, the idea is find the area of one base, right? The bases in this case being like this circle here, or the other one on the other side. And then multiply that by the height to get volume. Right, so if you think about that video you watched in class where they were stacking the cookies in the can, and the cookies match the base of the cylinder, and then each cookie has like a unit of height of just one, and so that's how they're filling the cylinder. And this is sort of the same idea. Find like the area of one cookie and then multiply it by how many cookies it would take to fill it, or the height. And that's how you're going to get volume. And so the formula, if you like to think of it that way, volume equals pi times the radius squared. So that's going to get you, the surface area of one base, and then times height. Pi r squared times height. That's all it is. So let's start with this one over here. This one has a diameter of 12, so that means the radius is 6, and we see that the height is 9. So we're going to do 3.14 times 6 squared, and we make sure to do this first. Always do your squaring first, or else you will mess up. Also know that 6 squared means to multiply 6 by itself, not to times it by 2. And then we will multiply that by 9, and we will get the volume in feet cubed, or feet to the third power, since it's a three-dimensional measurement of stuff or space. So I told you could use a calculator on this one. I will do the same. We got 3.14. No, see, look at me. I'm getting ready to mess up. I'm going to do 3.14 times 6, and then square that number, and I would get the wrong answer. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to square 6 first. I'm going to go 6 times 6, which should be 36. Then I'm going to go times 3.14, and then I'm going to go times 9. And I get 1,017.36 feet cubed. So that's a foot cubed is essentially a cube, like a box, that's 1 foot on each side, 1 foot like deep, 1 foot wide, and 1 foot tall. And so in this big cylinder, you could fit over 1,000 of those in there. All right, let's do another one. I'm going to skip number 2 just because I wrote and drew all over it, so I don't want to deal with it. All right, so here we got a radius of 4 and a height of 10. So we do, just looking back at our formula here, we do pi times the radius squared times the height. So 3.14 times the radius squared, which will be 4 squared, and we make sure to do that first. And then we're going to multiply by 10. And so let's do 4 squared, which should be 16. But I messed up. 4 times 4. And then multiply by pi, 3.14. So that's our surface area of the base. And now we just multiply by the height, which is 10. I can see that's going to come out to 502.4. Yep. So 502.4 kilometers cubed. Think for a second about this cylinder we just calculated. They're telling us it's 10 kilometers tall. That's like 6 miles tall. And it's like 8 kilometers wide, diameter all the way across. So like 5 miles wide. Yeah. I don't know of any cylinders in the world that are 5 miles across and 6 or 7 miles tall, but whatever. All right, let's do one more. Let's do the sideways one. Nothing changes just because it's laying on its side. It still has a radius of 5. So we're going to do pi times the radius squared, and we will make sure to do this first. And then we're going to multiply that by, so it's called the height, right? Even though, right, it looks more like the width now because it's laying down. But you just have to imagine that it's like a can and you just turn it up, standing upright or whatever. So this 10 is still the height. And this isn't going to be very much different from the one before. The only difference is we'll hit 25 from 5 squared instead of 16. So 5 times 5 should be 25. Yep. And we're going to multiply by pi. And we'll multiply by that height, which was 10. I feel like I messed up in there somewhere. Why did this number come out so different from that one? So this is a key skill as a mathematician. I'm at a point where I'm almost positive I have made an error of some kind, because this answer should be noticeably bigger than this one, because it's all the same numbers except this is 25 and that's 16, and yet I got 250. And the last one I got 502. Did it not enter when I hit pi or something? I think that's what it is. Yeah, because I got 25 times 10, which is 250. So it didn't do the pi for some reason. So I'm gonna start all over just because I want you to see me do it from the start, but I'm pretty sure I could have just fixed that by hitting pi. So 5 squared times pi times 10. That makes a little bit more sense. It's bigger than the previous question's answer, which I knew it should be. So 785, these are yards, so yards cubed. Some people say cubic yards. All right, I'm pretty sure you can handle the rest without me.